Hi, I'm Kevin. Today, as promised, I'm going to show you how to make a scrumptious asparagus tart. Now, when you buy asparagus, or even if you're cutting it from your garden, look for spears that have tight tips, like this. If the tips are splayed at all, it means the stems have been sitting around too long. And the proper way to store asparagus is in a jar with a little water at the bottom, and store this in the refrigerator. You'll need 20 asparagus spears for this tart, and we're going to arrange them as the spokes of a wheel. It's a really cool looking tart. And what you do is cut the tip of each asparagus stem into 3.5-inch lengths. And I'm actually using a ruler just to make sure that my length is correct. And here are the 20 asparagus tips. And be sure to save the ends of the asparagus for my super duper creamy asparagus soup. I'll post the recipe for that soup in the description box below. We have to blanch these spears, so toss them into a skillet or a sauce pot of boiling water. You only need about 1 inch of water. And in go the spears, and we're going to let these cook just for 5 minutes. Then turn off the heat and immediately transfer the asparagus to a bowl of ice water. And we will let these cool in the ice water, for 2 or 3 minutes. Then fish out the asparagus and let it drain on a blue and white kitchen towel. Next, grab 10 sun-dried tomatoes, and if your tomatoes were packed in olive oil, take a paper towel and blot off some of the oil. Anyway, roughly chop the tomatoes with a knife. And actually, one of my readers mentioned that sun-dried tomatoes are much easier to cut with kitchen shears, so I'm going to test her method. And you know what? She's right. The tomatoes are much easier to cut with kitchen shears. Now, remember when I said that the asparagus would be arranged on the tart like the spokes of a wheel? Well, our wheel needs a hubcap. So what I'm doing here is taking 1 sun-dried tomato, so you'll need 11 tomatoes in total, and I'm cutting it into roughly a 1-inch diameter circle. And finally, grate the peel of 1 medium-sized lemon and set this aside. The rest of the recipe goes very quickly, so heat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want the rack in the center position. Now crack 3 large organic eggs into a medium bowl and violently beat them with a wire whisk. Now beat in 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Also beat in the lovely, fragrant lemon zest and a pinch of salt and some grinds of black pepper. Then grab your tart shell, and remember, this is the French tart that we made and blind baked in last week's episode. I'll post the recipe in the description box below, just in case you forgot how to make it. And we're going to add to the shell 1 cup of finely shredded Swiss cheese. Then sprinkle on the wonderful sun-dried tomatoes and pour on the lovely, luscious, lemony custard. Then take your asparagus spears and arrange them like the spokes of a wheel. Let me see if I can get a close-up shot of this. Here we go. So it looks pretty, but we are missing our bright red hubcap. And here it is. The sun-dried tomato that we cut into a circle. Give you an even closer look. Isn't that pretty? And then this goes into the 375-degree oven until the custard is set. That will take about 30 minutes. So I'll come back to show you the finished product. And here is our asparagus tart. And I don't know about you, but a prettier tart I have never seen. So I'm going to let this cool on a wire rack for about 10 minutes, and then I will unmold the tart and cut a slice and have a little taste. So to unmold the tart, take a drinking glass or a jar and set the tart pan on top and let the ring of the removable bottom tart pan fall to the bottom. And then take your tart and just place it on a wooden cutting board or a cake stand or whatever. Now it's time for a little taste. I'm going to cut a sensibly sized piece. First one's always a little difficult to get out. And here it is. Look at how beautiful this is. And I love how you can see the chopped sun-dried tomatoes in the filling. Well, I already know this thing is delicious because I've made it about 100 times. The asparagus gives it an earthy flavor, and I love the concentrated flavor of the sun-dried tomatoes and the zing of the lemon zest. Honestly, there's nothing about this tart that isn't wonderful. So I hope you'll give it a try someday. And I'll post the recipe over on my website. You'll find a link to the website in the description box below. And while we're at it, I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look for the little subscribe button over here somewhere. And in the meantime, please post a comment, and I will see you very soon with another sexy seasonal recipe. Bye for now.